Hello, welcome to Network. My name is Spumelele Zondi with the technology and social media news. Now, you can be a part of this conversation. All you need to do is to hashtag SABC Network or at SABC Network. Now, that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Here's what's coming up in the program. We went to Digitize Africa in Durban, where tech spaces in Africa were meeting under one roof. We also find out more information about an app that links women to the right hairstylist. We also spoke to Vika Mpisane in Durban. He's one of the organizers of the Digitize Africa conference and CEO of ZADNA. Let's start with your technology and social media news. The Digitize Africa conference took place in Durban. Speakers came from various digital spaces. We were also there. Several players in South Africa's tech industries got together in Durban to discuss digital industries in South Africa and the rest of the continent.
So far it's been quite an insightful opportunity. I think just hearing more about the ICT, the ICT industry in South Africa, and knowing how I can be more involved with the industry here and how I can bring the skills that I've learned from overseas and bring them to just increase the growth of the industry in South Africa and just overall and make us a known entity throughout the world.
A lot of interesting speakers really digging into some of the topics about ICT and the local landscape.
Organized partly by the ZA Domain Name Authority, the event raised questions and had solutions in the tech space.
It was influenced by the white paper, which was issued last year around October or November. So that gave birth to the Digitize Africa conference to say which platforms can we create to ensure that the discussions around this white paper, they not only end in Johannesburg, they not only end in Cape Town, but they also go across the country.
Government is a big player in closing the digital divide. They say such discussions are important.
It's important because it brings together the role players in the internet space, not just internet, but the entire digital space. It brings together the innovators, the creatives, those that sit behind the scenes, the camera people, and everybody else that helps us to be able to play in this digital game.
The ICT white paper seems to lay government's plan in this.
The white paper is setting up the framework of how to transform the analog South Africa into a digital South Africa. How then to infuse technologies in every aspect of our life. How then do we grow the ICT industry? How do we allow those who are outside of the ICT industry to participate in the ICT industry?
But even the white paper has critics.
If you're looking at those gaps, you'll find that mainly the sector does not address the plight of a black SMME in the ICT sector. There's not even a definition of a black SMME in the ICT sector, or even an SMME in the ICT sector. So we need to ensure that women and youth are catered for. We need the digital fund to be more clarified. I think more workshops are needed. The digital fund needs to be clarified as to what it will be doing, who is eligible to get it, what are the processes. Those are the kind of things we want the paper as it goes into implementation to ensure that it does not leave behind.
Such discussions are important for us in the industry to input in terms of the government ICT policy, but more important is the implementation of the various policy prescripts. Most of the time the policies are looking good, they sound good, but where we fail is the implementation. And our SMMEs and professionals look at us in the professional organizations and SME organizations to say, hey, you have got all these nice policies, but what's happening practically on the ground?
They're focusing on rural areas. It's a very good cause, but our questions should be, how are they going to deliver infrastructure into the rural areas, and what are they going to do about the township economy? I think I asked the same question yesterday to say, what is the government doing in relation to running fiber in RDP houses that they're building? Because it's pointless, you build a house today and then you do not deliver internet infrastructure when you're trying to go digital, or when you're trying to build a digital community. You might as well integrate everything, do it at the same time, reduce the cost and save time.
What's clear is that everyone knows internet access can improve the economy.
Because we play in the digital space with our online TV channel as a TV, but we're also a bit different because we bring two aspects of it. We bring the online space, but we also bring the media side of things or the arts side of things. And with where we're going into the future, the two are merging.
But they differ on solutions of how to get there. A group of young people in Durban have created an app that helps women find the right kind of weave and a stylist who can put it on for them. We paid them a visit.
Picadoo is an online platform that allows women to select the hairstyle they want, to book a stylist, and to purchase hair pieces online. So it basically simplifies the process of a woman and their journey to looking beautiful. As we all know, that the first step of woman beauty is within the hair. It's online, so www.picadoo.co.za, picadoo.co.za, and any woman, in any place in South Africa can be able to go on the platform, can select the style that they like, that they want to see themselves in, and then they can book a stylist who can either come to them or they can go to the stylist, and then they can also purchase a hair piece on the platform, which can be delivered to them 3 to 5 days, sometimes even sooner, depending on whether they are within a city or not, and they can be able to get their hair done and look beautiful at a time. I was working in varsity. I was working with women who are on the street who didn't have salons, and they were just doing hair on the street to try and build themselves up. And my colleague, who was in IT, had been wondering how do women choose their hair? How do they get to be able to find the perfect hairstyle that they want? So I was like, instead of just creating a platform that just allows women to choose hair, why don't we create an entire solution that allows women to be able to choose their hair and then also be able to get their hair done? Not only helping the woman to be able to look beautiful, but helping stylists and hairstylers to be able to sell on the platform. Because Picadoo initially is a marketplace, so sellers can sell their hair pieces and hair products on the platform, and stylists can offer services on the platform by becoming a Picadoo partner.
At Digitize Africa, I also met up with the 2 students who had just returned from San Francisco in the USA. Now, the future for others like them and many international students that have a dream of working in the USA Silicon Valley face uncertainty under Trump's reform of H-1B visa process.
International students pursuing postgraduate degrees in the sciences and engineering are expressing grave concerns after President Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday seeking a review of the U.S. visa program for bringing high-skilled foreign workers into the country, putting technology firms and outsourcing companies that serve them on notice that possible changes may be ahead. Mayank Kasturia, a student from New Delhi, India, who is expected to graduate with a degree in computer science in May, said,
one of the company I talked to, and they said, are you looking for any sponsorship? And the moment I said yes, they said, we are not providing any sponsorship, so please try some other company which will provide you the sponsorship.
At California State University, Long Beach, 20 miles south of Los Angeles, there are approximately 2,700 international students from about 100 countries, many looking to work in the high-tech industry upon graduation.
For many years, we have relied on this pool of well-educated individuals from other countries to fill the vacant positions in engineering and the sciences. If that is not going to be available to us, we will have to look for drastic alternatives.
Kasturia, who also holds a part-time job as an engineer with the campus radio station, is heartbroken that his American dream may soon end.
It's hard. Your heart can't believe, not ready to believe this is going to happen or this is happening with me. So it's hard to believe, and everyone is following their dream, and if there is something interrupting that dream, that's hard for everyone. So
traditionally, an international student with an advanced degree in science or engineering needs to get sponsorship and an H-1B visa from an American company in order to work and live in the US. The executive order is aiming to change that. Following up his campaign promises, Trump wants the jobs to go to the U.S. citizens or permanent residents.
Connected cars were showcased at this year's Shanghai Auto Show, and face recognition technology is being used to dispense toilet paper in Beijing. These are some of the stories that made tech headlines in the last week.
Connectivity among cars has become a very global trend that caters to the younger generation's desire for being connected, according to participants at the ongoing Shanghai Auto Show 2017.
For some of the the connectivity, so we believe really the needs of the younger generation, and it's like 10 years ago when iPhone first launched. So it's not a phone, right? It's actually the customer's behavior. So we believe that the vehicle the same. Later, people will not perceive it as a vehicle. It's their tool to represent their lifestyle.
Automakers are buying up or working with tech companies to bring about connectivity tools. New car brand Link & Co. is leading the way. Now off we go to Russia. Russian anti-monopoly watchdog FAS and Alphabet Inc.'s Google reach a $7.8 million out-of-court settlement in a dispute over the tech giant's Android operating system.
Today, the Court of Arbitration has confirmed the settlement between Russia's FAS and Google, thereby bringing to an end a nearly 2-year court battle.
And back to China we go. Beijing's parks have resorted to a high-tech solution to stop people from taking excessive amounts of toilet paper. A dispenser equipped with facial recognition technology records each user and then rolls out a strip of around 70 centimeters of paper for one trip to the loo at this public washroom in the Temple of Heaven Park.
For most people, it's a bit slow if they need the toilet urgently. But if you think about this from another angle, and if you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, this is pretty useful. I think it's not bad.
The park's toilet cleaner said the new dispenser has indeed reduced the amount of toilet roll people use. They now fit the machine with 4 instead of 14 rolls a day.
All right, what if we need more toilet paper though? It's hashtag SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. After the break, we chat to Vigambisa, CEO of Zadna. Stay with us.
Cold weather is good news for farmers battling the fall armyworm.
Soldiers of misfortune, and it has no natural combat enemy in South Africa yet.
A mother in Deep Sloot is fighting for answers after a baby died at a local creche.
When they handed the baby to me, I said boy boy, but he was unresponsive and his hands were very cold. When I opened his eyes, I knew something was wrong.
Daycare mothers even changed his nappy and handed the already dead child to the unsuspecting mother.
At SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Now at Digitize Africa, we also had a discussion with one of the organizers of the event. He is Vigambisa, who is also the CEO of the ZA Domain Name Authority. We're still at the ICC in Durban where the Digitize Africa conference is taking place. Now part of the organizing committee is the ZA Domain Name Authority, and its CEO Vigambisa is joining me for a quick chat about this particular conference at the moment. Hello and welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, why was there such a need to organize the Digitize Africa conference?
Well, as we've seen, the need is that comes from the fact that Africa as a continent is still having a huge gap, in terms of internet penetration, the people who must have access to the internet. But other than that, the internet on its own is an ever-growing economy. And the contribution of Africa as a continent to this economy is very limited. So the idea is to gather together different brains in this industry to find out, among other things, how can we best collaborate to increase Africa's output and contribution to the global internet economy, which then will help to grow Africa economically.
Tell us about those brain and about those different areas that the internet is in. Some might think of it as a part of the entertainment space, but there are people who are talking fiber to the home, etc., etc.
It does. I mean, when you speak digital, you really go as far as our life today goes. It covers issues of education. When you talk about how best to deliver education to our children. As you may have seen in Gauteng, in the days of your old blackboard with the white chalk are gone. We talk paperless classrooms where you get tablets and kids are able to access their education content on those tablets connected to the internet. But you talk about also citizens. How can you best apply for that passport or ID without having to go any queue in places? And you saw from the program here that, for example, Home Affairs is here to talk about such things. Then you get to the issues of startups, the opportunities that are there for our youth, our young guys who are into development, whether of websites or software and so forth, or apps, to issues of regulation, what government is saying in terms of policy, in terms of regulation and so forth. So it's cross-cutting. Then there's a huge part of it which is obviously your media and entertainment. So digital covers all these, and that's why the conference in itself covers all these particular facets.
There are people who may ask why you, as the ZA Domain Name Authority, feel the need to be organizing such a conference, because all you need to be doing is to be issuing your .co.za, your .africa, or your .durban.
Yeah, well, the internet is wide. We came up with this. Well, we participated in this idea from its conception. From, as I said, it's a collaboration from different startups and so forth to say we need a conference of a particular kind. And then we felt that as the ZA Domain Name Authority, some call us the internet entity of government, that we should be at the forefront. Because if you speak digital, you really speak about the power of the internet. So we found that to be very much related to what we do. Mind you, when you talk about digital, you talk about getting people online. And when you talk about getting them online, you talk about, if they're South African especially, .za. So there is, I must admit, an interest obviously on the .za side to say the more we appear here is the more we're able to speak to the relevant people, to say to them, online, you must have your clear identity over and above your social media, and that identity must be your .za web address or email address.
And there has been a lot of criticism as well of how internet is being rolled out in South Africa, or connectivity is being rolled out in South Africa. What do you say to that? Because you are very positive about getting people online.
We are very positive for a simple reason, that the rollout, or let us simply put it, the move to get people on the internet is dependent, yes, on the infrastructure. Now that is below. What we are really on above, where we build on what the infrastructure is there. But we have seen in Africa that were it not for mobile telephony, internet access will not be anything near where it is now. It will still be very low. So the power of mobile access to the internet gives us this confidence that people can have domain names, because you may not need to go and buy that laptop. If you have a smartphone, you can be able to access your website online. So whether the infrastructure, especially your fiber to the home and so forth, are there or not, as long as they're on mobile telephony, they have mobile access to the internet, then they have a reason to register domain names and have their own website. Hence, we are very much optimistic that over and above, whether the infrastructure is lagging or not, but people can get online and have their own domain names.
Mr. Mbisane, this is the very first one that's taking place. Is it the only one that will ever take place?
No, it's a birth really of a child. To use that analogy, it's never easy. Our mothers can tell you when the child comes, there are birth pangs, there are pains, and it becomes messy. But when you see the child a year later, you see a human being. So also with this event, we really took it with that attitude of saying we'll give it our best shot, we and our partners. But if it's not as been as perfect as we would want it to be, definitely next year they will see a major improvement. So it's going to be a journey. We really want to use the event to create a lot of awareness in South Africa and in Africa about the power of digital.
All right. And as you say, bigger and better in future, still in Durban.
We are committed to Durban for the next 2 years because of the support of the provincial government in KZN, especially next year and then the year after. But what we will look at obviously is to mobilize people better this time around, because what we did find out towards the last minute was people saying, while we were not aware, more awareness should have been created, and we agree that it should have been created. And so next year we think we'll communicate better, but we see Durban as the venue for the next 2 years.
All right, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, sure. Now, Mr. Vigambisane there is the CEO of the ZA Domain Name Authority, part of the organizing committee for the Digitize Africa conference that has been taking place here in Durban. And as he says, it will be coming back to Durban in the next 2 years. Also at Digitize Africa, we caught up with TV actress Stefina Zwane, whose favorite piece of tech is something very simple.
Hi, my name is Stefina Zwane. My favorite piece of technology is the kettle because I love tea. My day does not function unless I've had tea. So without hot water, my life is not good.
We do not just speak, we let every voice in our nation find full expression in language and in culture. We do not just teach, we empower all people with education. We do not just bring you the news, we place you where the news is happening. We do not just entertain, we take you on journeys. We do not just broadcast sport, we create an arena for sporting heroes to inspire you. Ours is not just a job, it's a calling to ensure that everyone in our nation is informed, educated, and entertained. We're able to do this because you do your part. SABC TV licenses, it's all made possible by you.
SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Now, co-founder and CEO of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, said that augmented reality is a top priority for Facebook. He made this announcement at F8, the company's annual conference for software developers.
Virtual reality and augmented reality go hand in hand. And this virtual reality experience is going to give you a taste of what it's like to have this real sense of presence with your friends no matter where they are in the world, and to start interacting with all kinds of digital objects on the road to fully augmented reality. We're also launching the next generation of messenger platform. We already have AI that helps businesses answer all kinds of questions from their customers. And today we're going to launch a bunch of Discover tools that are going to help you find the businesses and bots that you want to interact with on the platform.
Hey sis. Hey Jack. Are you all excited for our trip?
Yeah, and look what I found.
This is so cool. Is this the same spot we're going to?
I hope so. And look, I think that's where we're taking the boat tour.
Oh, I love it.
So here's an example of a father playing an augmented reality game with his kids in the waiting room at the doctor's office. was using the table in the waiting room as the game board for a tower defense game, and the kids can kind of slap the bad guys before they get to you. Now, there's going to be a lot of awesome stuff like this that comes, and I'm pretty excited about this. This part of the platform is going to come a bit later this year.
This week, our Twitter poll has been asking you where you get most of your news from. Now, 75% of respondents say they get their news from social media. 13% of those that answered say from news sites. 8% say from broadcast media. And there is a small margin of 4% that says newspapers. And that's all we have for you. Find us on SABC Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. News Network at sabc.co.za and email. We leave you with visuals of the New York Auto Show. From me and the rest of the network team, have a good one.